Hi everyone, my name is Katie Allen, and today I'll be demonstrating to you how to create a lava lamp. The items you're going to need are a clear jar of some type. It can be plastic or it can be glass. Today I have a mason jar. You're going to need oil. I have canola oil. You'll also need some water, and I have a glass of water right here. Next, you're going to need food coloring and some Alka-Seltzer tablets. I don't know if you can see that, put that there. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and fill up your jar about a quarter way full of water. Maybe just a little bit. That might actually be just a little too much. So you go ahead and fill it just a quarter way. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and fill up the rest of it with oil. So go ahead and pour this in here. And we're going to let that settle. And it's going to begin to separate. It wants to separate here. Okay, I think it got a few bubbles trapped. Kind of let those rise up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to turn it over here because it seems to be better on this side. All right. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to add your food coloring. But first, I'm going to go ahead and explain what's going on here and the reason why these are separated. So basically, water is heavier. It is more dense than oil, so it's going to go ahead and sink to the bottom. And oil is lighter than water, so it's going to stay floating up on top. The reason why these two things are not mixing, despite the bubbles on this end, it just looks to be some air pockets trapped in there, but they pretty much cleared up for the most part. Just seems to be a little bit left there. But basically, the reason why these two things are not mixing is because oil is a lipid and it is not soluble in water. Oil is mostly composed of carbon and hydrogen. So you will not see these two things mixing. Now, food coloring is also considered to be a water-based substance. So this will quickly fall to the bottom because it is also heavier than the oil, or potentially it will fall to the bottom. But it will dissolve into the water because it is it is soluble in water. I apologize. So we're going to have to do this process quite quickly. Next, after that, I'm going to place in my Alka-Seltzer tablets. I'm going to go ahead and close this because I feel like I might hit it. Next, we're going to place in our Alka-Seltzer tablet. I'm just going to need one of them. So I'll go ahead and pull this out so that way I'm all set. Place that right here. And then let's go ahead and start. I think I might actually pour just a little bit more oil in because it looks like maybe some more right there on the top. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add our food coloring. I'm just going to do a few drops here. It wants to pour out. You can kind of see it fall down to the bottom there. I'm just going to use this knife to kind of aid in it. This particular food coloring is a little bit thicker than other food coloring. Go ahead and drop maybe just a few more drops in. So this is definitely heavier than normal. I apologize, than the oil. But as you can see, it's already starting to dissolve. So let's go ahead and place this Alka-Seltzer in. I'm going to go ahead and drop it in right here on the left side. And we're going to wait for it to dissolve. And close that lid in the meantime. And you can start seeing how it is pushing up the red dye into the top of the container. Just little pieces at a time. So that is your very own lava lamp. I'm going to move it just a little closer. And it kind of making these cool little pink bubbles here. Super cool. Move it a little bit more to that way. So as soon as this tablet dissolves, you're going to have to replace it and put another one in, but for now it's fine. We'll just let it continue doing its thing. Essentially what is happening here is the Alka-Seltzer contains citric acid and sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda. The acid and the baking soda react with the water, making it fizz. Alka-Seltzer, when reacting with water, makes carbon dioxide gas. And the reason why it's shooting up is because carbon dioxide gas always rises to the top. And that's essentially what you're seeing here is the reaction of of the Alka-Seltzer with the water, pushing its way up through the oil. And because the oil is a lipid, it's not going to dissolve into these water droplets that are being raised up into it, since it is not soluble in water. And water is also polar and oil is non-polar. So yes, that is essentially what's happening here. You can see that the Alka-Seltzer kind of stopped doing its thing here, and it's kind of settling down, but each of those balls are still intact. And eventually, after a few hours or so, they're going to go ahead and settle and go back down here, and the oil will separate. But that is an at-home lava lamp. Thank you very much for watching.